Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently down 1.65% to 35,788. Ethereum down 3.03% to 2660. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explain the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. Thank you for being a part of our globally extended family. I very much appreciate you being here. What we've done is we've gone on a lightning round through the crypto market. We're trying to understand how the crypto market moves each day. And the only way to do that is to keep a really good perspective on overall market activity. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass, our official NFT collection. Also, you can reach out and direct message me on Twitter anytime. Crypto technical analysts scientifically track investor attention, and that's measured through price, which is reality. We don't pay any attention to future promises. We want to see what price is actually doing. We understand that if we don't have knowledge, we'll make losses. If we're on zone 1 or zone 2, we tend to buy on green and sell on red. Correct. And if we do that, that leads us into a problem because we can buy on the way up and sell on the way down. Instead, we want to inverse that and we want to BORSOG, which is buy on the red and sell on the green. That actually makes percentages work for us and also is a really, really powerful way for investors to dollar cost average. And we know as professionals, price is negatively biased. You can always buy lower. So we actually put order limits in at support prices below the current price so that we can buy on red. And we patiently wait for our buy orders to fill. When we understand percentages, you understand that you need to also scale out on the way back up. I give you actual trades that I've done in the trigger section of the masterclass. The first thing we do as crypto technical analysts, we need to actually assess the chart via its exponential price movement, and then we look into outside trends, checking world events and stock markets. We look back inside the crypto market, understanding that opportunities reset daily and seeking to find the market's focus. Before we buy or sell, we must have our psychology correct. If we're not professional in our mindset, we'll get emotionally taken over, and that means that you will end up selling when you should buy and buying when you should sell. It's only after all of these foundations that we actually get into the trigger section, where we look at specific methodologies to buy and to sell. When looking at the Bloomberg Global Aggregate Total Returns Index for this year, we can see it's unlike any other year in history. It's very, very negative. Markets have just plummeted. They've come down hard. But what does this mean? We know price is always moving in a wave. This is really overextended. Let's have a look at Bitcoin and what it's doing. A lot of people thought that it would come into D. Bitcoin's price would hop into the D area, and that's what it's done. Well done, everyone. And we're currently seeing Bitcoin's price at 35,856. What do you think could happen next? Do you think we're going to go down, going to go up, or going to go sideways? Please let me know in the comments. It's also good to bear in mind that we're in weekend trading and we typically see lighter volumes across the weekend, which can create some pretty up and down price movements, so be aware of that. What did we see recently in the Nasdaq? We saw a rally when the Fed came out and said we're going to do 50 basis points instead of 75, and then we saw a sell-off. What are we expecting to happen from here? Please keep in mind that we've got a lot of support through this level from 37,164 232,332, and we've come back in here to this level once, twice, and now the third time. When we were actually in this level this first time, people were saying Bitcoin is going to $0. And that's actually not possible because Bitcoin is the internet of money. It's not like a commodity, not like gold or silver or anything like that. It's actually a technology. And a lot of people don't understand the intangible nature of value, especially as it relates to digital value. So you'll get a lot of old school people saying crypto has no value. That's like saying the internet has no value. But those same people would not be able to do what they do today without the internet. And all crypto is the next evolution of the internet to Web 3.0. Just keep in mind that we've got a lot of support down here, and we could even extend this this further. I became New Zealand. You could even extend this one further down to about 29,300, and you'd be fine as well. But the concept is Bitcoin and crypto is exponential. It does implosions and explosions, implosions, explosions. We're witnessing potentially either the start or the end of an implosion. We actually don't know yet. So that's why we've got to look at so many different factors. One factor to consider is just how much the markets have sold off. One thing that we also have to consider, what happens typically is that we have downward price momentum. Everybody gets bearish. Any upwards price momentum, everybody gets bullish. There are some people that say we're in a bear market, and that's of course because I think they're taking the stock market definition that a 20% retracement from a high constitutes a bear market. In terms of the stock market, that may be fair, but why 20%? Why not 22%? Or some other figure? You've got to be really careful about these really hard and fast rules. In the financial markets, there's no such thing as certainty. And with price moving in a wave, coming up and down, sometimes you can see a 20% reduction in the stock market followed by a rally, which makes it actually break the bear market 20%. And we saw that recently. Let's look a little bit more deeply. What we saw is that we had a peak at 64,854. That occurred around the middle of April. Then we came down to a low about the 20th of July. Then we came up to a peak at 69,000. There were so many orders in at 69,000 that it pushed price down. Now notice this low at 29,278. Have we actually fallen below that low? The answer is no. This is not a bear market pattern. If we actually break the 29,278 mark, well, that's a different thing. We need to talk about it then. But actually, what we see is a series of higher lows being made and also higher highs. That is the textbook definition of an uptrend. It could be really helpful for you to delete the concept of a bull market and a bear market and just go for a BORSOG market. In a BORSOG market, you put the percentages in your favor. A lot of people invest, and that's because they do so passively, or they can do so actively as well. But the concept is people get into investment when it's a bull market because they're not quite sure when to buy and sell. So they just hold on for dear life and just hope it keeps on going up. Of course, that is the case with crypto, and especially the strong projects. Remember, we don't know which one of those is going to last. Technology always moves so quickly, but Bitcoin is a guaranteed one that will last. And for so many reasons. It's actually outside the Securities Exchange Commission's purview. It can never be a security. It can never be regulated. So institutions already know that it's safe. And institutions must do due diligence. They have hundreds of billions of dollars worth of funds that they put inside the market. So they will always be putting in money to Bitcoin, no matter what. It's good that you keep this in mind because we're making higher highs and higher lows. This is an uptrend, and that's a very, very good thing to be aware of. If we break a particular low, that could be a technical violation. It doesn't mean it's automatically a bear market, but we have to always be aware that things can change in the market. But please know, at this stage, we are in a bull market. The question is, where do you think Bitcoin is headed now? We can see a level of support below. This resistance has proven fairly effective at keeping price away. We're getting a bit of negative air, so we're seeing weakness in Bitcoin's price at the moment, and it's currently trading at 35,893. Do we expect it to break support and come down to this 35,108 level, which would be in D? Or do we expect a sharper fall, some sort of capitulation event to take us, for example, to 33,135? This is really, really good for you to do. Each day we talk about what letter we expect, and it's not about being right or wrong. What you will find is many people look at the markets differently, and the more you do this, the better you will get at it, and that is the concept. So with this in mind, what letter do you think we're going to head towards in the next episode? So where do you think price will land? Do you think it will be in this E zone? If so, you can just pop E in the comments. Do you think it will be in D zone? So if so, you can just pop D in. Do you think it will be C? Do you think it will be B or A? Please let me know in the comments. Let's have a quick look at the longs in green and the shorts in red. We can see the shorts were getting confidence. They were coming back into the market, but just of now is starting to come out of the market, and the longs are kind of rolling over. When you look at weekend price action, it can be very volatile, so just please keep this in mind. The other thing, as part of your detective work, is the fear and greed index is 22. That's showing a lot of fear inside the crypto market, and it's been there for quite a while. And this is a very good sentiment indicator because it's an anti-sentiment indicator. When fear has been too overextended for too long, we're due for a move up, but we must always bear in mind that that may not happen exactly when we want it to. That's why we always make three-way decisions. We know what we're going to do, even if we're fully invested if the price goes up, and even if we're fully invested and the price goes down, we know what we're going to do. Or if we're fully invested and the price goes sideways, we know what to do. This three-way strategy must be applied at every time. You could have money or you could be out of your 10-5-10 fund. That's okay, but always know what you want to do with your money and your investments should certain things happen. But be careful of getting caught up in emotion. Institutional investors, smart money investors, will use emotion against retail investors. It's not that they're actually using it against them, it's just that retail investors are highly emotional, and that makes a lot of sense. Their money is on the line and they don't want to lose money. But when you think about institutional smart money investors and traders, they actually buy at a loss because they're the ones buying the falling knife. They're getting percentages to work for them. Let's have a look at the longs and the shorts. Over the past 24 hours, we've seen nearly $200 million in liquidations across nearly 65,000 positions. Friends don't let friends leverage trade. So if you're leverage trading, you're buying derivatives, please be very, very careful because you can lose more than you actually put in. Over the past 24 hours, about 71% of liquidations were long liquidations. 76% were long liquidations over the past 12 hours. Over the past 4 hours, whopping 92% of total liquidations were long liquidations. And across the past hour, nearly 67%, 67.12% were short liquidations. This is why never get overexcited about a sure thing. It just doesn't exist in the crypto market. Longs and shorts are always getting liquidated, and this is really, really high volume for the weekend. We're seeing volumes return to the crypto market, something we haven't seen for months. And when we look at futures open interest, we can see futures open interest is this green shaded area. That's in an uptrend. Now, what does that mean? What we can see is that there's a large degree of directional correlation between futures open interest and Bitcoin's price. When futures open interest goes up, Bitcoin goes up. When it comes down, Bitcoin comes down. And we can see that playing out again and again and again. Because we're over a resistance line, from a technical stance, we're being supported, we've crossed resistance, we expect upward price momentum. But just be aware that may not happen in our time frame. You may say, oh, fantastic, it's going to go up. I'll go all in and more right now. What you want to do is always layer your trades down. That's what we do all the time. We know the price is negatively biased and there's a lot of fear inside the crypto market. We seek to actually use this fear for our advantage. And what do we see with the Bitcoin Purpose ETF holdings? They actually raised up from about 30,000 Bitcoin up right now to about 34,500 Bitcoin. They were buying the dip. And how? That's why I said yesterday in yesterday's thumbnail and just in the discussion of yesterday's video, if you sell, who is buying? Well, we've got an answer. Purpose Bitcoin ETF was one of them. And if you watch the news segment, you'll know the other one. Which brings me to a really, really important point. When people get into the crypto market for the first time, they want to buy something really, really cheap, something at 0.00000 and 1 right at the end, because they think they'll be millionaires or billionaires if it just doubles in price. What professionals know is Rule 829. It's all about percentages and not price. If something can go up 10%, that's what we're after. And the least risky one is what we're after too. We're highly conservative people. We want to make sure that we guard our wealth. So what does this rule actually mean? It means that if you buy $100 worth of Bitcoin, for example, and it goes up 10%, that's the same as some far out altcoin, which is way, way outside the top, maybe 2,000 or 3,000 or 5,000, going up 10% too. It's all about percentages and not the price. A lot of people say, I can't buy Bitcoin, it's too expensive. Look at the price. Ken, are you crazy? It doesn't matter. It's all about percentages and not the price. When you understand this, it's like the lights turn on. It's really, really powerful, and it moves you into the professional league. And that's what I'm all about. I'm your mentor, your coach. I want you to become a professional. Let's look at the top performing cryptos over the past 7 days. We can see Tron out in front with its hype around the stablecoin. Good on you, Tron. ANC doing well. Algo, RNDR, CRV, HNT, XRP, Litecoin, Cake. And we can see that these flows are following Bitcoin's price action. I say it's almost like a geological study. When you see Bitcoin, which is the white line, when it goes down, what does the entire market do? It goes down, even the high performance, because of that's directional correlation in play. And what do we see here? At the moment, ANC is coming down. Tron is coming down. Algo is looking pretty interesting. That may even pass above that resistance. Maybe something to keep your eye on. And what about movements over the past 14 days? So 2 weeks. We can see Tron right out in front, followed by Doge, BNB. This is the top 20, followed by Bitcoin and Ethereum. One thing the professionals learn is the markets teach you the tuition fee is the tuition fee of losses in the market. Every single person makes losses, and professionals actually lean into losses. They're not scared of them, they lean into them. But when you're just learning, it could be really, really stressful. Rule 219, be kind to yourself. This is a really important rule. Everybody is learning inside the crypto market and at different levels of knowledge and expertise. If you're finding that you're sitting on losses, you can see the crypto market with its exponential explosions and implosions in price. That's just normal stuff. It's not anything like the stock market or Forex. So just be aware of that. Things can turn around very, very quickly in crypto. Looking at the top cryptos, we can see Binance Coin coming down. This is a little bit of a different kind of capitulation spike that we saw in the previous two. So thinking about that, that may have more downside to it. Just be aware. But crypto can turn around very, very quickly, and we can't expect what we expect. We need to expect the unexpected. That's because of Rule 114. Markets penalize certainty. If people are absolutely 100% all sure that it's going down, it's probably going to go up. And we saw that with the release of the Fed basis point decision. So please bear that in mind. When we look at these top cryptos, it's all about enhancing your pattern recognition skills. How do we do that? We look at Bitcoin's fingerprint. This is Bitcoin's price action. You can see it in the blue line here against Ethereum. They're moving in directional correlation with each other. They're moving as Bitcoin moves down. Ethereum is also moving down. It was just a couple of days ago that we saw everything absolutely bolting. And this is what happens in crypto. That's why when you have a lot of volatility in the market, if you find the positions turn green, it's not a bad idea to take some money off the table so that you can have more dry powder. And you know price is always moving in a wave, so you're not going to miss out. Let's have a look at Binance Coin. Binance Coin moving with the directional bias of Bitcoin. What about XRP doing the same thing? Cardano, we saw that huge spike up, and now that's retraced. But it's also moving in directional alignment with Bitcoin. When we look at Solana, Solana came down to that support level at $80.10, and that was hovering above it. And remember, when we drew these lines up, Solana looked like it was going to take off, but we had buy levels underneath the price. And this is what we always do, and we put more than that on it as well. We can see Luna is coming down, but that's exactly what Bitcoin is doing. And we could say, what happened to Luna? What happened to Luna? So much good news. Billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin has been bought. AVAX has been bought. And what's Luna doing? It's coming down. And it's just moving in alignment with Bitcoin. Nothing more to it than that. This is how we apply Rule 130. Make volatility your best friend. You expect prices to sell off. You're not going all in and more at one particular level. You're actually waiting for price to come to you. Making volatility your best friend is a license to print money if you know how to do it correctly. And that takes a lot of knowledge. And you'll find that knowledge within the masterclass. Many episodes ago, I was talking about Luna and saying Luna is very spiky. If you want to trade Luna, if you want to invest in Luna, please be aware that we could come down to the $60 mark without any problems. And we're seeing movement like that inside Luna. This is the thing. When price is up here at around $120, people are ecstatic. They're going all in and more, which is a retail thing. We never ever do that. We buy as price retraces. We get the percentage to move in our favor. And when we believe in the project, when we've done our due diligence from a fundamental perspective, then we can actually say, okay, I'm going to dollar cost average in on this particular project. And you have to be patient and have to wait for price to come to you. That's a definite, fantastic way of investing. But just be aware, as I've said for many, many days, getting price to come down to 60 is actually getting the percentages to move in your favor, not against you. And we can see AVAX had a lot of power here and then it just eroded. Why did that happen? Just point the finger at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, you naughty thing. You're just creating so much pain across the crypto market. When we look at Theta, Theta is just moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity, as is T-Fuel. We can see Doge showing a bit more strength here and a lot more support underneath it than many of these other projects. We can see EGLD just coming down. One thing that I want to note, a lot of people get really polarized about what cryptos they go into. Professionals do not get polarized by anything. They just look at it and look at it as a project. Does this, for example, does Doge have what it takes to go up? What margin can I make on it? It's just like something that you would put in your shop. There's all sorts of different quality cryptos. And if a crypto is high quality and a crypto is medium and a crypto is low, they're still all valid investments and trading decisions can be made on them. The key is to not limit yourself in anything. Just be an unlimited individual. When we look at Phantom, that's just selling off because it's actually applying Bitcoin's gravity to it, but it's showing a bit of more weakness than the other cryptos. If we look at CHR, that's following Bitcoin's gravity as well. Loopring is showing actually a lot of power here, and it's come up to a technical support level and it's held it very well. But we are aware that crypto can lose these levels, but it doesn't invalidate the pattern because the patterns are exponential. It's something very different to the stock market. Atom is like Phantom. It's really selling off at the moment, but that is actually putting the percentage on your side. When the market comes up, which means when Bitcoin comes up, we could see Cosmos and Phantom do really, really well. So just be aware of that. One thing to bear in mind, as investors and traders progress through knowledge of the crypto market, they can enter into the conflict zone. You want to kill off conflict as quickly as possible because it rattles your inner peace and creates not outer peace but outer conflict. If you're in conflict with others, you're not diverting attention to the things that you really need to be focused on, which is actually winning the crypto game by just doing the best that you can. When we look at NEAR has retraced, but we know all of these cryptos are very spiky by nature. That's what they do. They go up and down and all over the place. Matic, which is a very good project, is selling off, like Phantom and Atom. Just be aware of these different patterns. That's why I show you so many. You'll have an edge that very, very few in the crypto market will have. Let's have a look at Icon, consolidating. Looking at Veracity, it's under support, but it's just following Bitcoin's gravity. That's why we must pay attention to what Bitcoin is doing. Rose has sold off. Rune is doing really well, but it's got more potential room to find support. And Iota is coming down. Why is Iota coming down? Did the fundamentals change? Is it a bad project? No, it's not a bad project, and the fundamentals didn't change any more than they changed in Rose and Matic. But what we see is Bitcoin's gravity exerting its power on these alts. Please keep that in mind. IOTEX is selling down too because of Bitcoin. Rule 734 is really important. Master emotional control. You cannot be a professional without emotional control. If you find that you're getting polarized by specific crypto projects, I would suggest that you have lost emotional control. It's no problem to have a beloved altcoin. Of course, everybody does. But when you lose perspective on other projects, they could be valid. And it's good to have an open mind and not a closed mind. Professional investors and traders master emotional control. They look at what is good out there and they know what they're doing. They put percentages on their side because they want to be more of a financial blessing to themselves and those they love. Let's have a look at Sand. Sand is selling down. Why? Because Bitcoin is selling down. What about Axie? Selling down as well. Decentraland Mana, selling down also. Gala is selling down less, so that's quite interesting. That's showing a bit of power. What about Engine Coin? It's selling down as well. And what about Ape? It's selling down also. When we consider that we actually, around the 28th of April, put this particular box in and said Ape has the potential to come down. So just be aware of that. And what happened to Ape? Nothing more than price action. This is normal in the crypto market. To see something come down, for example, 60%, 70%, that's crypto. That's what it does. That's why we must master emotional control. And that's why I'm kind of talking about it a lot today, because on the red days, you need it more than on the green days when everything is going really, really well and you feel happy. Always remember Rule 570, psychology sets profitability. Having a powerful psychology means you're going to profit and profit well. And isn't that the goal of putting your money into one or more projects? And then moving on, we can see Chili's is coming down, SLP is coming down. And what's going to happen when the market starts to turn around? They're going to all rally, and they're going to rally in a way that blows the socks off many people. And they could literally rally hundreds of %. So just be aware of this. This is the crypto market. It's the most volatile market on the planet, so you need the most knowledge to actually be effective inside this market too. We can see KDA coming down with Bitcoin's gravity, as is CRV. Waves is also coming down. AR is coming down. Zilliqa is coming down, but it did exert some positive momentum, so that's pretty cool. Cello is coming down. GMT is finding a support line. There's a lot of support of price around this level, the current level. We may be able to see something quite interesting in here. This could have a technical bounce, but always place more layers down, because that's what we do. And we saw ANC was doing really, really well, but it's aligned now to Bitcoin's gravity. That's why we say no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. This is a living example of that. Having a positive excellence outlook on life is really fantastic, because you understand that life resets daily. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. It doesn't matter what you said yesterday. Today is a new day. It's a chance to begin again. And life is always waiting for you to be ready for abundance, and life wants you to succeed. Please let me know in the comments, what do you think is the most interesting project in the list we went through? And this is fantastic for you to do. And our community is filled with wonderful, beautiful people. They're so loving and so kind. And it's all about supporting learning. There's no toxicity inside our community. We just don't tolerate it. And please let me know, what do you think about placing buy orders at levels down below the current price? I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video, and also subscribing to the channel. We would love to have you as part of our globally extended KS family. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers, and to the CTKS ambassadors for mentoring Masterclass students, and of course a very big thank you to you for watching and for being part of our global KS family. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, and you can always reach out and directly message me on Twitter as well. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care, and see you next time. Bye for now.